you're an online coach making at least 10K per month, this video is definitely for you. I'm gonna be uncovering all my exact scaling framework that I use for online fitness coaches to go from 10K and above. So to go from 10K to 50, 30, 40, whatever your goal is, I'm gonna show you how I exactly do this. And I can show you this because I've been 8.5 years in this industry, and I've been helping tons and tons of coaches go through this process. So hear me out. Okay, so I'm gonna be telling you the exact framework, and this is not all about posting reels, posting stories, making better content, better carousels. That's not the case. So you need to have, this is like the flywheel I'm gonna show you. You need to have your numbers, you need to have a sales team, you need to be in a CEO mode, no, not just a solopreneur, you need to be a CEO mode, you need to scale your ads, and then the content system. So let's get into it. Okay, first of all, you need to have your numbers. You need to have your numbers ready. You need clarity before you scale from 10K. So I'm sure going to 10K costs you a lot of time, and that's okay. But going from 10K to 50K is not about just making more. It's about making better. Okay, so you need to have your metrics on track. You need to have your CPA, so your cost per acquisition. You need to have your lifetime value, so how the exact money that people spend in your business, not just the one time, because you have a recurring offer. So the lifetime value is so important. Then the time spent per client, not the time that that client spends with you, but the time you spend doing all the process, all the fulfillment and everything with the client, right? We will see about this later on. And then you need to have very, 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 very clear what's the process between from the people getting to know you, to being a lead, to shooting to a DM, going to the call, and then the sale ratios. Okay, so with that also you need to have the collection rate, so the cash money that you have in your business, right, like the upfront cash, and then the shine money, because maybe you can make payment plans and everything, so you need to have that in mind. If you want this Notion template, by the way, that I just made for you, you can just shoot me a message. Okay, so you need to have CPA, lifetime value, calls per week, close rate, and cash collected. This is gonna be like the diagnosis of your own business. Once you have this, you can go and start scaling. So what's the one thing that is stopping almost every client that comes to me that is making like 8, 9, 10K per month? What's the thing that's stopping them from scaling? The things that's stopping them from scaling is that they are doing everything in the business. So if you are doing the calls, if you are doing the setting, if you are on the DMs on Instagram, it's time to think different, right? It's time to think different. It's time to think in your business as an actual business and not just being a solopreneur, right? So that being said, it's really important to have a sales team. And with sales team, I don't want you to think that you need to have a lot of money to hire salespeople, because they are going to be commission based. So you need to remove yourself from calls. And if you want a basic setup that I'm going to show you right now, you need just one setter for the DMs, right? So you don't need to be in the DMs. You need to be posting stories, carousels, reels, that's okay, but you don't need to be in the DMs, but you need to be making people more relatable to you, so that they can shoot you a DM, but you don't need to be in the DM. So you need one setter and one closer. If you want to scale way more and you want to spend more money on ads, which we'll see in the future in this video, you might need two closers. So if you have one setter and two closers that can handle 100% of the sales, you are ready to go, because you are just gonna be doing the kickoffs, right? So the first call with the client, and then the client delivery, and that's gonna be your only work in the fulfillment side, right? So then you will gonna be making them work with you with a commission-based strategy. So you have, for example, you charge $450 per 3 months. It's really cheap, but you maybe charge $450 per 3 months. So with that 450, you're gonna be handling a little percentage to the closer and a smaller, maybe half the size, to the setter. But how do you do that so that you don't lose profitability and your business is still the same, not a little bit less profitable, but the same, like the same profitable it was before? So how you do this is you made a slight program price increase. If you are charging like 450, maybe you go to 500 or 510, something like that. And that way, the commissions are fully covered but by that extra margin. So you're making the exact same amount of money. You're removing 100% yourself from doing the sales, from doing the DMs and everything, and you are just centered on your own business, which goes to the next point, which is being a CEO mode. And this is really important, right? You need to have a system. You need to have a really, really good system so that you can move away from the chaos that it's in your business, right? So this way, your only weekly actions are gonna be 1 hour of data review, like reviewing everything in your business, 1 hour of sales team review, just one meeting with your sales team, the closer and the setter, or the closers and the setter, just once a week, maybe on Fridays. That's what my clients do. And then system updates. So you need to be the onboarding, the backend, and everything. And let me tell you, if you want to scale, you can even go away from this. Like you can have another coach in your team, another trainer or nutritionist, whatever you have, and you can handle the onboarding and the backend for that people. But that's gonna be the next level of scaling, right? So then you also do the delivery for the check-ins, right? So you 100% delegate the DMs, the sales, and the admin, because if you have two closers, one of them is gonna be the admin of the closer and the setter. So you don't need to worry about that. And because those people are being commission based, they are gonna be really interested in you making more money so that they can make more money. So you have a brilliant team. Okay, next up, it's gonna be the traffic, right? You need to have a predictable volume. This is why content, it's okay. Making content, it's okay. But if you want something that's predictable, that's ads, that's traffic, right? So if you are making ads right now, you need to step up. And if you are not making ads right now, this is the moment to start. And I'm telling you, if you are not making ads and you are making at least 5-6K, it's time to do ads, because you're gonna do really great. So the main strategy I use with my clients, I use way more specific strategies, but the main strategy I use is that you run meta ads to Instagram, and you put the traffic goes to your Instagram profile. So it goes to your Instagram profile with a very good creative that I show you how to do. Well, I show my clients how to do. And then it goes to the Instagram profile. When they land into Instagram profile, they see your content, and you have your setter that is here. Your setter is gonna be in charge of doing all the work for you. So I'm sure that if you are making like 10K per month, you have new followers coming to your account. But guess what? Those are just silent followers because you don't talk to them. So you will have a full-time setter that is going to be DMing those people, reacting to their stories, connecting with them so that they can be more relatable to you. They can see your stories, that's your job. You're going to be making stories and then making a call to action so that they can DM you. So if you have that, how do you measure your metrics? So first of all, it's going to be the cost per call, the close percentage, the CAC, so the customer acquisition cost, the ROI upfront. Like, for example, if you put $1, how many dollars come back to your business? And then the full ROI. If you want a really good explanation of this, just let me know in the comment, because I have a system that I use with my clients to calculate their exact ROI, and this way you will see exactly the amount of money that you can spend in your business so that you can not only be profitable but scale in a very, very good pace. So I also do that. So if you want that, I can do that for free here. Just um, putting a video on YouTube, right? So the ROI upfront, which is if you spend $1, for example, and you get $10, that's okay. For example, let's say that your customer acquisition cost is $50, right? And the money they pay you is for $50, right? But with the lifetime value, let's say that people are with you like for 6 months. So the lifetime value of your program is probably close to 900. So you're making way more ROI with the lifetime value that you are doing with the just front end ROI, right? So this is really important. So next up, it's gonna be the content system. So you need to have a content that builds trust and conversions, and this is really gonna be your job. Like the things before here are not your job. This is your team. Your team commission based, and also you searching the data. But if you have a content system, this you can make this to work, and this is gonna be the thing that's gonna move the needle so that you can scale. So the content types are Reels, Stories, YouTube, and Podcast. You can skip YouTube and Podcast if you want, but I'm telling you that right now in 2025, if you want to scale in a really good pace, this is something you need to do. You should be doing, right? So Reels is just to social proof, traffic, and objections. Stories are to nurture those people, those new followers that you're gonna be getting from the traffic, right? And then also the call to action so that they can DM you and they can go through your funnel, right? And the setter will do the work. So later on, YouTube is for long form trusts, right? So for example, me, I have 4 different YouTube channels that I'm sure you don't even know about them. I have different channels. I also have 2 Instagram accounts, and I have different businesses. For example, me, this is my energy drink brand. I guess you can tell that making energy drink brand is not cheap, but I make these kind of things or this kind of crazy ideas that are on my mind because I was able to master this and make my clients master it so that they can make a lot of money. But I don't use YouTube as a main acquisition channel, but I use long form trust in YouTube so that you can know that I really make my clients make a lot of money. So just use YouTube for long form trust, right? Because it's okay if you get views on Reels on Instagram or TikTok, I don't know, but the real trust is built on YouTube. So I encourage you to start a YouTube channel if you are an online coach, just to show what you know. And then podcast for cross promotion. You can invite people to your podcast so that you have authority, and also they can feel in a really how do I say it? Like in a real comfortable space to share things with you. And if someone listens to 1 hour, 1.5 of you talking into a podcast, they are almost sold by you. So make sure you also make podcasts. On YouTube it's better, but do it in all platforms. So Reels, Stories, YouTube, and podcasts. That being said, that's the exact flywheel you need. Like, there's nothing more, and maybe I can tell you a lot of things, a lot of numbers, a lot of strategies. Of course, if you go to my channel, you can see that this goes way more. But I wanted to make a really short, straight to the point, and really useful video so that you can really learn this flywheel and how to implement it in your business. And this might sound so so simple, so that you can think, oh, it's okay, but what do I make with this? Okay, so right now, scan this in your business. Make a diagnosis of your own business, and when you do that, come back and let me know how this works. So with that being said, the finish line is that conditions to scale are the numbers are tracked weekly, the sales operations are fully delegated, you are getting out of that. The delivery system, it's very well systemized. the ads are producing consistent ROI upfront and in lifetime value, full ROI, and then the content is really aligned with objections and trust, right? So that's gonna be it for today's video. If you want like more in depth about this, go to my channel and watch the other videos. And if you just want me to implement this into your business, we can also talk about that. I'm sure I'm gonna be leaving a link in the description somewhere so that you can maybe book a call directly with me, and we can see your case, and if it makes sense, we can maybe make you scale to your desired outcome. So see you in the next one.